Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got another debate clip between Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre. I know that you guys love watching these, so I figured I'd react to this one. This is from Mr. Sunshine Baby's second channel called House of Canada. So, giving credit where credit is due for that. So I'm just going to pull this up and react to this. Video's titled, Justin Trudeau yells at Pierre Poilievre after he destroys him. So, let's see what this is all about.
The opposition.
It's like a parallel universe every time the NDP leader stands up and attacks the very government he's a part of and laments.
Yeah, there you go, Pierre.
For Canadians, after 2 years of him being part of voting for quadrupling the carbon tax, driving up inflationary deficits, and of course driving 2 million people to the food banks in a single month. He blames greed for all this hunger. He's right. It is the greed of Liberal and NDP politicians who keep taking more and more from Canadians. Will they reverse these disastrous policies?
Man,
Damn right, Pierre.
He calls it
Damn
out like
right.
that.
Let's see what Trudeau has to say.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
All of us in this House see how Canadians are struggling. We just have different responses to it. The Conservative Party is proposing cuts to government services, cuts to investments that are going to support seniors, cuts to investments that are going to support families.
Can you guys take anything that this guy says serious? I sure can't.
Whether it's dental care or child care, the Conservative Party thinks you can cut your way to prosperity when the reality is, Mr. Speaker, our investments
He's gonna try to tax his way to prosperity.
in child care, in dental care, in supports for seniors, in supports for students have actually helped Canadians through some difficult times and will continue to be there for them into the coming years.
Nothing that you're doing, Mr. Trudeau, is helping Canadians. I mean, shit. Like, most kids in my generation won't be able to afford a home. Enough said right there.
L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
Being there for Canadians, he's taking money out of their pockets. And if you don't believe me, listen
That's
to the
exactly what he's
governor
doing.
of the
He's
Bank of
taking
Canada,
money out of the pockets of Canadians.
who said, and I quote, "Today, government spending will be adding to demand more than supply is growing. And in an environment where we are trying to moderate spending and get inflation down, that is not helpful." That adds to the voices of the former Liberal Finance Minister John Manley, who accused this Prime Minister of pressing on the inflationary gas pedal. Will the Prime Minister tell us, does he agree with the bank governor that his government spending is not helpful on inflation?
Damn right, Pierre.
Le très honorable Premier Ministre.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians know we need support and we need more supply on the housing crisis, and that's why we are there investing with municipalities to deliver more housing. In Brampton, our housing agreement will spur the construction of more than 24,000 homes over the next decade. That's an investment that the Leader of the Opposition would cut. In other cities like Richmond Hill, Moncton, and Ajax just this week are passing more ambitious housing plans at their local councils in response to the federal housing accelerator. While the Leader of the Opposition would rip up these agreements, we're focused on building solutions that'll work for communities right across the country.
L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
The question wasn't about his housing photo ops. The question was about the rate of inflation and its link to government spending. And I quote the Governor of the Bank of Canada on this point today, and I quote, "Government spending will be adding to demand more than supply is growing. And in an environment where we are trying to moderate spending and get inflation down, that is not helpful." He's now clearly saying that government spending is driving up inflation. So very simple question. Does the Prime Minister agree with the bank governor that deficits are driving inflation? Yes or no?
It's Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine, I guarantee.
L'honorable Premier Ministre.
Except, Mr. Speaker, that inflation is steadily coming down, Mr. Speaker. Even as we continue...
Inflation is not coming down.
to sign agreements with communities across the country. And by the way, if the opposition leader cared so much about getting more homes built, he would support our Affordable Housing and Groceries Act. This legislation will remove the GST on the construction of rental homes, which housing advocates and developers have described as a game changer. That's the relief that Canadians need. So let's keep moving these important measures forward, and let's keep getting Canadians the housing relief they need instead of political attacks and cuts from the Conservatives.
I'd like to remind all members, please, to wait your turn to take the microphone. I know that some members are very enthusiastic, but there are other members who are certainly going to be asking their questions. The honourable member, the honourable leader of the opposition.
He's very determined to avoid discussing the growing evidence of the link between his deficits and the inflation Canadians pay. So let's review what the bank governor said today. He said, 1, inflation risks are rising. 2, that inflation won't get back to target until the year 2025, 2 years out. And 3, the bank is now leaving its door open to further rate hikes, probably spurred on by the deficits of this government. With mortgage payments up 150%, for God's sakes, won't he get rid of these inflationary deficits so that Canadians can keep their homes?
Le très honorable Premier ministre.
Mr. Speaker, what the Leader of the Opposition is proposing is to cut spending and supports for Canadians in the hopes that Canadians will somehow do better that way. We disagree. What Canadians need is greater investment in supply of housing, for example. That's why through our agreements, we're unlocking new homes and opportunities for growth in the city of Hamilton by spurring the construction of thousands of homes over the next decade, like we are across the country. The Mayor of Hamilton actually said our housing agreement was absolutely a big deal, and I couldn't agree more. When we work together with a strong and ambitious plan, we can get more homes built faster. While the Leader of the Opposition's plan would see these agreements ripped up and stalled, we will keep going forward to help Canadians.
L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
You know one word he never used in that big rambling, read-off answer? Done. Because none of those houses are done. They're all promises. But he's been promising to build affordable homes for 8 years. Since he first made that promise, housing costs have doubled. And none of the promises have come to fruition. Yes, other levels of government have politicians that are thrilled to have more money to bloat their bureaucracies. When will he realize that we don't make housing affordable by building bureaucracy? We have to build homes.
That is true.
Le très honorable Premier ministre.
Mr. Speaker, we are working hand in hand with municipalities across this country, whether it be Kelowna or Hamilton or Ajax or now Halifax, where we're continuing to move forward with investments that are going to respond to people. And I have to say, I was in Brampton just last week, Mr. Speaker, and as we were making another announcement about new homes coming up, we were standing on the site of a building that we announced 2 years ago that was opening its doors to new residents today. Mr. Speaker, this is what we are doing. After that member was housing minister who got nothing done.
Trudeau's
we're
being
there to
livid,
invest in
folks.
Canadians and build a stronger future.
Wow. You don't see Trudeau get mad that often. Throwing
Trudeau
a little
just
tantrum.
erupted.
Drop a like on the stream, everybody. Now's the
Mr.
time.
Speaker, he has the best photo ops in the history of photo ops. We'll give him credit for that. He wants to know what I got done when I was housing minister. The average rent was $950. It's now over $2,000. When I was housing minister, the average mortgage payment was $1,400. It's now well over $3,500. When I was housing minister, the average needed down payment was $20,000, and you could own a home on average by 29. Now those numbers have skyrocketed. I deal in the world of results. He deals in the world of photo ops. I know which ones Canadians prefer.
Whoa! There you go. Tensions are pretty high in the house.
All right, folks. So we're used to seeing these clips by now. We're used to seeing them of Pierre absolutely demolishing Justin Trudeau in Parliament. I'm gonna be making more of these types of videos because I know that you guys love them, and they're just fun to watch too all around. So subscribe to my channel for more, like the video, share the video. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.